What's going on, everybody? Got a little different camera angle today. I got the car pulled too far forward. I can't use the toolbox. Did a 3-day weekend this weekend at Benton I-57 drag strip. Friday was a test and tune. Pulled the car off the trailer, ran a 647, which I wanted it to go faster. I really wanted it in the 20s, like I've been saying. It ran like 7 or 8 646s this weekend on the dot. I mean, just the only time it didn't run that was Saturday, and we ran the throttle stop on Saturday. It ran a 48 off the trailer with it on. So I would have said it would have ran a 46. I mean, I don't think the throttle stop was killing. I run it down track, so I really don't think the throttle stop was, it wasn't doing a whole lot. We should just shut it off. My sponsor Saturday talked me into double entering, and I told him it's not a good idea. It's hell on the car, it's hell on the driver, hell on the crew, and the crew I had, they did a great job, but they're just a little inexperienced. I mean, it was their first, other than 2 of them, it was their first weekend ever being out. So I was having to kind of constantly tell them what to do and how to do it. So it really wasn't that relaxing, here you go, you guys take care of the car, I'll just drive it. Till Sunday. They actually did really good on Sunday. Other than a trunk scratching incident that I think happened Saturday that I kind of lost my shit over. One of the guys a little shorter, the fuel jug was full, and he was resting it on the trunk instead of putting his hand under it or one of the blankets over it, and scratched the hell out of it. So I had to apologize to him how loud I yelled at him. I apologize, but I don't feel sorry. But anyway, the Saturday deal, the double entry, went out, car ran 48, like it ran off first time run, or right off the trailer. Second time run, it ran like a 50. And I thought, okay, you know, it's getting hot. I mean, it was hotter than hell, guys. I mean, I couldn't hold the steering wheel or the shifter without my gloves on. So, it was hot, needless to say. Went up for the first round, I went ahead and dialed it to 50. I thought, okay, maybe it's slowing down to that, that's what's gonna run. And it ran a 60 something, 660 something. I'm like, oh man. Went up for the first round, ran a 70. I'm like, all right, we got a problem. Then it ran a 78, and when I come around, I pulled up to the trailer, and the sponsor's like, you know, what's going on? I said, this thing keeps slowing down, I gotta find out why. I mean, if there's something wrong, gotta find out why. So we got to working on it, pulled the plugs, found a couple of plugs that looked kind of questionable, changed those. I had a set in the trailer. Come to find out, to rewind back to Friday night, we made 4 passes, and after the second pass, we noticed a little bit of water dripping. Got to looking, water pump was leaking, water pump gasket. It's like I double silicone that, both sides, and I mean, there should not be any leaks. Well, it's 100% my fault. I had to shim the water pump bracket out, and that's what the alternator bolts do. Well, I thought the bolts went in there tight enough, but I had one of my helpers, the only bolt he put in, he stripped. He didn't tell me. Like I said, I should have double checked it. I'm not 100% blaming him. He's also the one that scratched the trunk. Not 100% blaming him, but I should have double checked it. We ended up tearing it down, put 2 new bolts in, longer bolts with washers, because we couldn't find the right ones. We just made it work, and it worked. It didn't leak anymore. Well, in the process of taking this apart, a buddy of mine and his son said, you know, you sit back, we'll take this thing apart, we'll do all this. I said, okay. I said, I set this car up, when I redone this car over the last 6 years, I put a tubular front core support on. And you take the bumper off, 4 bolts, you take the core support off, 6 bolts, take your line's off, you undo one Deutsch connector, almost said douche connector, Deutsch connector, and the two side markers. Transmission cooler, and this thing pulls out, sits down here, takes about 15 minutes. 15 minutes, it's out of the way, and the whole front of the friggin' motor is open. They didn't want to listen to me. They wanted to pull the radiator. I said, I've never pulled the radiator. I bolted it in, I've never pulled it out. They said, how long, what do you got to do to pull it? I don't know. I put it in there 3 years ago. I don't remember. I pulled everything out. They didn't want to do it. So they ended up getting this radiator pulled. Took them almost an hour. I would have had the core support out in 15 minutes. But whatever. They had the radiator here, and they start yanking on the wires. And they said, well, you need to put a connector here. You need to put a connector here. I said, guys, there is a connector right over here. I pull everything. I don't want another connector there because I don't pull the radiator. So then I could kind of start seeing in their eyes, like, man, maybe we should have pulled this core support, like Jake said. So we get it all fixed. Fast forward to Saturday morning. I go home. I get about an hour and a half fucking sleep. Go home. Get the bolts and everything in the next morning. Go to work. Go to work. I did go to work. Got some tools. Went back down there. Put this thing back together. It's fixed. Little did I know, when they were yanking on the wires, they killed the transmission cooler fan. I didn't know that. I asked if the fan was working. They stuck their hand. Yeah, the fan's working. Well, I never even thought about checking this one. They both come on together. They're separate relayed, but they both come on with the same switch. So I'm like, okay. Well, except my sponsor talks me into double entering, and we think, we don't 100% know for sure. We think the transmission started getting hot, and it was doing some other weird stuff. It was like skipping in park, like you fired up a car to move, literally move. It moved like 10 feet in park, and I'm like, well, that's not normal. So I said, park must not be applying all the way. So Sunday morning, I got underneath there. It started later Saturday in the day. It didn't do this the whole weekend. I got in there, got the transmission shifter adjusted. It doesn't lunge, it doesn't do any of that stuff anymore. So that was the issue. I'm glad I didn't run it anymore than what I did to hurt anything. Transmission did fantastic. So I'm really happy with it. So fast forward to Sunday, we didn't win around the whole weekend. And it wasn't the point. I didn't go out there thinking we were going to win this whole weekend. I really didn't. I mean, I would have liked to have won a couple of rounds. The win, I told the sponsor, I said, a win to me is pulling this car up to the trailer Sunday afternoon when this whole thing's over and driving it into the trailer. That's a win. And we did that. So I'm doing some general maintenance on this thing. I'm going to do rockers. I'm going to adjust those. I'm going to do spark plugs. I'm going to fix this fan. It's working, but it's kind of rigged. So I'm going to fix this fan where it's right. I am going to do some two-step adjustments. I got to notice in my bump up, bump down on the delay box is backwards. And I think I had it right. Well, it was wrong, but it was working right. And I called Digital Delay, and they set everything up for me. Well, then I processed it, switched everything. So I just got to move two wires. Got to figure out which two wires they are. I'm pretty sure I got them marked. And just move those. That's no big deal. I'm going to do some shock adjustments. So this car, when it was a small block, I had 383 in it. It was a good little car. I mean, I should have probably just left it alone. It ran, its best pass ever was a 658, but it really ran like 662 to 665. Almost every pass. It was a 662, 665, depending on what the weather was. On alcohol, 383 small block, power glide. It had a 10 bolt in it for a while with a 538 gear, and then I ended up changing to the 9-inch with a 456 gear. Believe it or not, I liked the 456 gear a little bit better. It calmed it down, picked up ET. So, but anyway, it ran, like I said, let's say a 660, 662, with a 133 to 134 60 foot, pretty much religiously. And every once in a while, this thing would just up and do a wheelie that was out of this world, and still run the same ET. I mean, a car, no matter what it did, it was very consistent car. It was just the driver that sucked. So This thing was running a 646. I think I counted 8 646s out of the 12 passes. It was either 7 or 8 646s all weekend long. So you can't be upset with that. I mean, it's consistent. It's what I want. I'm finally getting a handle on the delay box, but it's just not 60 foot. It's only a 146 to 148 60 foot. So if I can get this thing back to what it was 60 foot with a small block, 133, 134, I should be in the low 630s, high 620s, guys. I mean, it really should be there. And then there's some other adjustments. This thing probably by the end of the year should be 620s. Might even get in the teens with it, because I have not tuned up. This is straight out of the box. I have not done any adjusting on this thing at all. This is just what it ran off the trailer. So I mean, really, you can't be upset with that. I don't want to do a whole lot to it because I'm going to go to Coles County Sunday. That is an NHRA track, and I can't run faster than 639. So my toes are right on the line. It's a little slower track, and I mean slower in, I usually run about 0.05 to a tenth slower there. So I might be 650s. I might not even be anywhere close, but if I start tweaking on this thing and I pick it up a tenth from I-57's track, I'm going to be flirting with what they're going to let me run. And they'll probably let me run one time. I want to get my license anyway. So Mike, the owner of Coles County, if you're listening, I want this thing to be NHRA. I want an NHRA license. I want all that. I just haven't had time to do all that yet. So, like I said, really happy. We're going to do some general maintenance. I'm going to pull the oil filter, cut it open, make sure there's no debris. I'm not expecting to find anything, but your normal metal, I'm probably going to find something. But I'm just planning on normal stuff for break-in. I mean, we beat on this thing this weekend. If you look at some of the old other videos, I think I got a couple of burnouts. I think I got a couple of passes on there. I don't have everything. I mean, the car's pretty boring right now. It's not wheeling, which I don't want it to wheelie a whole lot, but it's not doing, crazy stuff. Every pass looks the same. Every burnout. This thing would do a burnout all the way back to Salem from Benton. I mean, it's just unreal. How good it is. The torque converter is a little tight, and I think that lies where probably 50-60% of my 60-foot issues is in the torque converter. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, that torque converter sounds tight, you ought to have it loosened up, and I would, and I will. But until I get the heads on this and the cam that I want in this, I don't want to go spending $500,000 tweaking or building a new converter to replace this cam and heads this winter, and this thing be totally different, and now the stall's different, the flash is different. So I really want to leave it where it's at, do what I can do to make it better, and then this winter, whenever I pull this motor out, take the converter. I'm also going to be putting the 496. The 496 should be done sometime this winter, and it'll go in here. Might leave that torque converter in there, because it's going to be a little snappier motor than this one is right now. And if that torque converter doesn't do what I want it to do, obviously it's just too tight, maybe there's an issue with it, get it out and get it fixed. Because I really want a converter for the 496, a converter for the 509. But I want to be able to interchange those if I have to, if I have one go bad. I don't want to have to change a whole motor because the converter messes up. I mean, you're probably talking the difference between 55 and 5,700 on the stall between the two. Maybe even not that. They might even be, even though there's going to be a different stroke, it might be the same. You never know. You never know till you get one, actually have one. But yeah, I just wanted to, I was so excited that this thing, that first like 3-4 passes, I'm like, this thing's going to blow up. It's going to blow up, because that's when the last one blew up. And I got past that 4th, 5th pass, and I'm like, okay, I think we got a good one. And when we got to the 12th pass, which was the last one, and it ran another 40. I think it ran a 46 dead on with a 4. The pass before, I raced Ken Jones, Pinky Jones. I raced him 3 times on Sunday, and the second time was probably my best race of the weekend. And if I would have raced anybody else on that track that round, I probably would have beat them. But he got me. He got me all 3 times. And like he even come up and said, "Man, you just need some seat times. You're getting it, you know." I mean, this since 2019. I stopped racing in 2020, but I was doing heads-up stuff. Since 2019, I've only made 15 passes in this car. So, you know, I'm still pretty green, still pretty rusty. I'll get it. I'll definitely get the hang of it, but it's just going to take some time. So, but anyway, take a look at the other videos. The burnout videos are awesome. I might have 2 passes on there. If not, I'll throw another one of those up later. I know I have a ton. I have the Sunday's first time run or only time run, and then I've got the last. I think it's the last pass of Sunday there. So take a look at them. Tell me what you think. We're gonna go, like I said, go to Coles County on Sunday, and I'll post up some videos. That's a cool track. They got hit by a tornado earlier this year, so we're hoping to get the Pro Storm truck up there, Josh's truck, his pickup, and then my Pro Storm stuff, and see what we can do. I get some, and I haven't seen any of this yet because this is all brand new, but they're gonna a little bit of kickback, and I'm not gonna say what they're gonna give me, but if they can sell five sheds this year, I'm gonna get something that I want. I gave them like a little wish list, and then they said they'll do it. After this weekend, they've quoted 6 sheds. So that doesn't mean they're going to sell 6. That just means they quoted them. So that's a good sign. So I think we're going up to Charleston. Like I said, we're not trying to take advantage of anybody's, you know, misfortune, you know, and bad luck, and what those people lost up there. I've been through in my life. I've been through 3 tornadoes. So we haven't lost. We had some damage on the last one, but I've seen what it can do. I was about 4 or 5 blocks away from one that hit when I was, let's see, it was in 96. I was 15, no, I was 14. I wasn't even 15 yet. And so, I mean, I understand, you know, how bad this can be. And of course, I'm a first responder. I'm a firefighter. I've responded to stuff like that before. So we're not trying to take advantage of anything, but like the sign says on the back of the trailer, you know, cover your ass. If you can cover your ass on this and cover your family's ass, you know, it's a way to do it. And yeah, I mean, this is how they make a living, but they do it all for the right reasons. So look them up too. It's Pro Storm Shelters. You can look up Pro Storm Shelters on Facebook, and you can also look up Pro Storm Racing. Same thing, 2 different sites. I think we're up to like 65 or 70 followers on the Pro Storm Racing page, and that thing's not even a week old. I think they started that Friday night. So, you know, get in there, click like, follow, whatever on that, and you know, really support that page. We're going to start blowing that page up with a lot of stuff, so we get some people on there. So, all right, you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll get some videos posted up later.